Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your News Shot NBC News reporting that there's a 12-year-old in the state of Colorado that is suing Attorney General Jeff Sessions to legalize medical marijuana. Isn't that amazing? And isn't it pathetic at the same time that a 12-year-old is what it takes right now to hopefully chink the armor of Jeff Sessions and the unconstitutional Controlled Substances Act. Now, I'll get into this in a second. They're fighting it in a pretty interesting way. I think it's a strategic way in order to get her specifically relief. But this is just the beginning, folks, and we really need to get behind this effort and any other efforts like this where we fight the government over their draconian approach to a problem that doesn't exist. So let's get into this. Like most 12-year-olds, Alexis Bortel is an energetic girl that loves to read, write, and explore her family's 35-acre farm in Colorado. But she's not like most 12-year-olds. She's written a book. She's taken cannabis oil daily and is challenging the U.S. Controlled Substances Act by suing Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Approximately 3 years ago, Alexis had to leave her home in Texas in order to treat her severe form of epilepsy, known as intractable epilepsy, with cannabis. Now she's suing Sessions so that others like her won't have to leave home in fear of retribution from the federal government if they, too, use medical marijuana. Off on a side for a second. It's interesting because in the news cycle today, I saw that the White House is coming under fire because they issued interim clearances to a lot of Donald Trump's support staff at the White House. And there are individuals that are not getting security clearances because they use marijuana. And the latest one is one of his advisors for his environmental policy. Because he used marijuana in 2013, they wouldn't grant him a clearance, which is completely and totally asinine. See, this is the stupid thing about government, and this is what makes me want to bash my head in with a claw hammer sometimes. You know, think about hackers right here in the United States. If this supposed cyber warfare threat is so bad and so important, and say, for example, China's theft of intellectual property and spying and everything else is such a threat to our national security, then why are we preventing some of the most bright and most brilliant individuals with computers from helping out the government fight this supposed imminent, huge, important threat because they smoke dope? Why? What the hell is, this is it just makes you crazy sometimes. It's like, are you kidding me? So, Alexi's father, Dean Bortel, was interviewed by NBC News. He said this: she just wants to be like everybody else, he said. When she grows up, she wants to be free to choose whatever or where she lives and what she wants to do for a living. She wants to be treated like an American citizen and not just a state citizen. She doesn't want to have this fear about going to jail every time she sees a police officer. Now, the suit aims to prove that the Controlled Substances Act is, that's basically the statute that governs federal drug policy, is unconstitutional. Now, in this case, Michael Hiller, her attorney, is fighting it as it relates to marijuana. And the reason why he's doing that, and I understand it, is if they go after the entire Controlled Substances Act, more likely than not, the judge is going to throw it out. Because they're just the judges and the judicial system they're too in bed with the DOJ And if you want evidence of that, just look at the FISA court. The FISA court is federal judges, random federal judges that are selected to be on this court for X amount of time. And they have a 99% approval rate of violating the rights of Americans. 99%. They allow these searches to go on and these wiretaps to happen. 99%. They even use untrustworthy material or totally bunkum material, like the dossier, if you will, that dossier written by the Russian intelligence agent or whatever, or no, I'm sorry, the British intelligence agent on behalf of the DNC and Hillary Clinton. And then the FBI used that dossier to wiretap then candidate Donald Trump and his campaign committee. It's like, are you kidding me? So you can't really expect justice to be served because our government, specifically the judicial and the executive branches, have ceded the moral high ground long time ago. And by God, they do not care about your rights. They care more so about the well-being of the individuals that they all knock rings with, you know, whether it be the judge is, you know, hey, I'm a friend of Jeffy Pooh and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you know, we were in the same fraternity in college together. These guys are all tied together. So joining in on the suit with Alexis are plaintiffs Marvin Washington, a former NFL lineman, Jose Belain, Army veteran, Yager Cody, a 6-year-old Georgia boy with Lee syndrome, all of whom use medical cannabis. And the Cannabis Cultural Association is also named as a plaintiff, according to court documents. Quote, our objective is to have the Controlled Substances Act, now listen to this because this is important, as it pertains to cannabis, declared unconstitutional so that Alexis, Jagger, Jose, and the millions of other Americans who require medical cannabis can live healthy and productive lives. So now people would like to say, well, why not go after the whole thing? I've just explained it, but now there's another caveat here. If they can get it unconstitutional as it relates to cannabis, it sets precedent. And if it sets precedent, now you can go after it as it relates to opioids, as it relates to cocaine, as it relates to anything else that might have a medicinal and might have a religious value to it that violates your rights to put anything that you feel necessary in your body to do. It doesn't really matter. It's not the government's business. Let's just be real. Now, the Justice Department has filed a memorandum in support of a motion to dismiss the case. They declined to comment. The DEA did not immediately respond to comment. So they had to uproot their family and move to Colorado, where medical marijuana is legal. And that basically allowed Alexis for the first time to start experiencing the near normal childhood that she's living today. She's been having seizures since she's 7. She takes 2 doses of cannabis oil a day and keeps a THC spray called Cannatol on her at all times. The THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, is the active ingredient in marijuana that makes people feel high. Now, the Cannatol RX acts like a rescue inhaler or an EpiPen to stop an oncoming seizure if Alexis begins to see spots before her eyes or her body sends her a warning that a seizure is imminent. Now, a complaint filed in the U.S. District Court, Southern District Court of New York in July says that Alexis ran the gamut of prescription pills, all of which failed to control her seizures before she was left with only 2 options. Listen to this: brain surgery or cannabis. You know, what would you choose for your child? Now, marijuana's prevented Alexis from having a seizure now for about 3 years. 3 years! And although she's able to live uninhibited by seizures, she's still restricted by federal law. So she didn't just lose her state, Dean Bortel, her father says. she lost her home. And because marijuana is a Schedule I drug, categorized with other drugs like heroin by the federal government, she can't use her medicine on federal property. And that means, as the daughter of 2 vets, that's what's so egregious too, she can't go on a military base and take part in a program or programs or use benefits that she's entitled to because she needs her Canatol with her at all times. And guess what? She can't even visit national parks. She can't even go to Disney World. She can't spend Christmas with her elderly grandparents in Texas. If she returned to Texas with her Canatol, her parents could potentially lose custody of her. Think about how unbelievable that is. A clear violation, clear human rights abuse, clear violation of constitutional rights, just an unbelievable, egregious assault on every single American citizen in this country. It's unbelievable what's happening. And how people can just stand there and accept it is asinine. And I'm sorry, but that Keebler elf in Washington, D.C., he needs to get a frickin' grip. And I'll tell you what, I would love it if one day, and I don't say this lightly because I hate this, but one day, if he could just experience pain on a level that many of these chronic pain people suffer, or perhaps he develops epilepsy and he needs marijuana, let's keep it from him. Let's keep it from him and let's give him an aspirin like he wants. And maybe then he'll see the light, but I doubt it because he's too much of a frickin' slave of the special interest to actually give a crap about you. He's too self-absorbed and too far gone to do anything for us or to make America great again. He, my friends, is one of the biggest stumbling blocks that there is here in America today. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. # Wake the Flock Up. Have a great day, everybody.